This coverage is brought to you with 0 YouTube ads in the first 24 hours, courtesy of Arby's. Hello and welcome back to the 2020 Discraft Ledgestone Insurance Open. We have first round back nine action here at the Disc Golf Pro Tour. We saw a bunch of birdies in the front nine. Couple pars, no bogeys. Great work at Northwood Gold. We got Big Barry commentary. Jeremy Koling joining the booth, as always, by Paul Ulibarri.
That is right. Glad to be here. And we do have an awesome back nine for you guys, and really where this course kind of starts.
Yeah, this is when we really get to experience the difficulty that Northwood presents to the field. So many signature, iconic par fours, a couple of par five. We even got a par six coming up. That's controversial. As we start here on hole 10, par four, 560 feet. We're going to kick things off with the third hardest hole on the course. A backhand straight tee shot that flips up and gets down here to this hill is great, but if you can hyzer down just a little bit farther to have a straight look is just absolutely paramount, as this very difficult par four has one of the most challenging roughs left side and right in such a narrow fairway to make it down the whole way. Any early kick, you're in trouble. You can just see how low that early ceiling is as Ricky is off very far left, and that is going to be a tough shot just to get to a position to save the par.
So you want to split those two big trees right there in the middle. Hannum shot right here, as you can see, is doing exactly that. But even this is going a bit too far right, gets the kick to the left. You have to be straighter than that. It's a very specific shot that you have to throw to get all the way down there to the flat. And I have yet to see Austin do it.
James, however, he has thrown this so well and just rudely connecting on the last thing in the way. I have high hopes that that would have been all the way down the bottom of the hill. See if you can make the correction as you line up your glow nuke.
No way.
And a very late release and a kick right.
Into the gallery again, back-to-back shots. I was going to say I've yet to see somebody get down there, but then it would have been a spoiler, and I would have been reamed, but I'm still going to get reamed, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, always. Okay, what on earth? How did you get through everything? Now, that's down at the bottom of the hill. You can see the pin from there.
Yeah, I mean, I had a gap there. Didn't you see it right
Not
there?
the way that you threw it. James with a quality shot. That's even better. That's going to be looking straight at the pin, and now we're going to see Ricky have to scramble.
One of the things to note about this hole is hole 9. After hole 9, we're waiting for about 30 to 40 minutes. Yeah. There is I think there was a 4-group backup. So for the course to demand you throw such a difficult shot, especially after waiting that long, it makes the hole even tougher.
Oh, without...
Yes.
That's Austin's tee shot?
Yeah. Well, that's his second. That's from his tee shot. Yes.
So he's found a way to play this hole, and I've never seen before, as you almost ring this up with your ringer, to cheat the early corner high and inside, and he makes it all the way down there to circle 1.
Yeah, it was a beautiful shot. I mean,
wow.
Austin has so much power, and he also has touch to go with it. So his sidearm, that's not surprising from where he was, but definitely a great tool to have. James running this.
And he'll have to make a 26-foot putt to save the par. And Austin having this from circle's edge to go birdie, and he is just a bit off right now on the putting green. That'll be another par for Hannum. James does connect on that par save. Only 15 players in the field were able to pick up the birdie on this uber challenging hole 10. 43% of the field at bogey or worse. And this is really the beginning of, if you're off the fairway, pitch to the fairway. Take your bogey, take your medicine, accept your fate, because there's really the opportunity that Austin had there to go over the top and through the woods a bit does not present itself in many situations at all in this back nine. Hole 11, par 3, 380 feet. Two plays are going to be a backhand turnover and also the forehand flex shot. You have to avoid these trees that are kind of intermittently scattered throughout the fairway. But the backhand really suits the fairway better. It hyzers back into this hillside. The forehand, if you've got it, does bring those trees into play. You just have to barely miss them.
I think it goes back to the staggered trees. It's easier for the sidearm to hit the gap. You just have to miss that one.
That's the one.
But it also goes down the hill. So you're taking initial gap out of play with the sidearm, making sure you're not going to kick left, kick right. But then to get it really close is asking a lot. It does favor the backhand turnover.
Yep.
It can get all the way down there in the circle for a park job.
Just as you say that, Austin hitting that initial gap, not quite hyzering back.
But he's really not going to be that disappointed with it. Because that's what you're doing. You're gambling that you're going to miss those two trees, and if you do, you're playing the circle's edge or so.
James just not quite getting enough turnover on that, and that's kicking into the woods. Could potentially be a difficult scramble for the par. And you're going with your ESP nuke, I believe.
This is a force.
Your ESP force, I believe. And you do miss that outside, and you get a great skip all the way up to about 38 feet.
And that's as good as I could play it,
Yeah.
I think. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, is just skip it to circle's edge or just inside circle 2 to give myself a look. I think just having a look for birdie on this hole is way better than me just absolutely parking it, because I am going to miss the gap eventually, and when that happens, bogey for sure.
You're saying then attempting to absolutely park it.
No, I would.
Because absolutely parking is always better than giving yourself a look.
Absolutely park it. I just don't want to.
You just don't want to, of course.
Yes,
I'll
you
take
are right.
absolutely parked 100% more
Sure.
than have to make a putt. Austin from long range just coming up short. This would be a big birdie putt on this challenging hole 11. You're moving to 6 under par. And that's a couple of big putts so far.
Just kind of snuck it right over there.
And 2 putts outside the circle so far here in hole 5. James for the par. Connects.
James, for not having, I would say he has an above average sidearm, giving, if you've seen him throw it, but not having an elite sidearm, his scramble capabilities in the woods, because of his angle control and because of his great putting, is top tier, which is really impressive. Only a couple people I would give the nod with that. Him and Michael Johansson comes to mind. I think he won the scrambling. Kale.
MJ did win the initial scrambling award for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. MJ, did I say Kale? I meant to say MJ. Oh well, the bogey-free stretch is going to come to an end because we're on hole 12. This is iconic. This is one of the best holes in disc golf, and it is a par 6, and I won't hear anything else about it. It's 1,050 feet. And I just think you should just take it all in and just watch this drone, because you're seeing exactly what we have to deal with. And the only thing the drone might not accurately portray is that hillside and how gigantic it is and how much it comes into play on the player's third shot.
If you don't put this in your Dream 18,
then you haven't played here yet.
Right.
This is looking really good. Maybe overturned? Oh,
barely,
Barely. That was so close to the dream tee shot.
The thing is, though, again, I can't mention this enough, that you want to hit that initial gap, and once you do, you're ecstatic. I cleared 250 foot, which means I'm going to be able to do something after that.
Ricky looks like he has also overturned this. All about the breaks you get at that point once you head into the wood line and you're behind things. There's just no chance that you can get a 5. It has to be a perfect tee shot to even give yourself a realistic chance. This is turning nicely. Wow, this is exactly what you want.
That's as good as it gets on this hole.
That is so beautiful.
It gets better, barely, from the whole field.
Yeah.
100 and how many players do we have?
38. 182.
182 players. You might find 3 to 4 drives better than that one right there.
And was that a mid-range?
That was a mid-range.
Yeah.
That was a buzz.
And that's the best way to control this angle, unless you're James going with a fairway driver, and he is looking like he's going with a huge shot. Oh, wow. That was almost down to the bridge. Really going for it all there, and I don't know how bad it is over there to the left, but I would assume not very good.
So notice this. Ricky just jump putts it to a spot. Very smart.
No point to go any farther.
I think you could go further. See?
What are you doing?
Being silly.
What are you doing? Oh my gosh, that was kicking you
into 9 territory. And not hole 9, like score 9.
Yeah. Well, also hole 9.
And hole 9.
James finding a way to throw, but has he gone too far?
Bad kick.
And that is a little bit more commonly seen.
Yeah, drawn dead. No outers.
Austin, from that perfect tee shot, you're looking to get to the top of the hill from there, and a great throw. You're not at the top of the hill. You can't get your 4.
Nope.
It's going to be a great 5. Ricky's off to the left side, and there is OB down there. I don't think he has quite got far enough to bring the OB into play.
His disc was straddling the OB line.
Okay, so he almost did.
Pretty good break.
And a slow run-up, huge uphill shot. This is cresting the hill, and this is in the middle of the fairway. Oh, my word. What a top-notch shot. And you can't even see that you just threw into the group ahead of you.
I didn't even know I could do that.
That was insanely good.
I turned into somebody else with some weird slow run-up, and then afterwards I'm like, maybe I should run up slow all the time or something.
Wow, that was a great shot. James having to fight just to get back to the edge of the woods. And this is going to be, he's not even electing to go to the top of the hill. And from there, the best James is looking at is a 7.
I think that now this is good to talk about, because I think he did lay it up shorter on purpose so that he could crest the hill and penetrate forward. So he does that on purpose. He could have totally made it to the hill or further, 50 feet further with no problem. But he decided to lay it up there so that he could actually penetrate further up the hill with the height. So he actually throws a really good shot. Doesn't work out that great.
I mean,
but
I
very
would,
smart. Very smart choice.
It would be one of the best shots you'll ever see if somebody could get into circle 2 from the bottom of the hill, because of the ceiling that you have up here. And you can see, if you're off by a foot on any part of this, you're just seeing a whole bunch of shots scrambling everywhere, and you are the only person that has any chance at all of saving your par.
Right. I think we also saw Austin from a perfect drive go left, then push it into the woods. So
now he's got it right.
He's got this
to
get par.
Oh, and he kicked out of the woods. I thought he was actually deep in the woods. And now he's... Oh, no, and it's out of bounds.
This hole does not stop.
God, it really doesn't. I feel like I'm still playing it.
And that's a good shot there. And so he went... So you can't see this from the camera, but that's a 80-foot drop down. That's why it's out of bounds. To the left is an 80-foot drop.
Right.
His disc is all the way down at the bottom, 80 feet down.
Wow.
And this is actually, I think, this is the most incredible bogey.
Yeah.
He putted 3 times on the hole. He pitched out, and then he pitched out again, and he just putted it.
Wow. That's I didn't even realize that was for bogey, and you save. You just got a birdie. You got a birdie 5 on the par 6.
I got a par.
You got a birdie 5 on the par 6, my friend. Who wants to play the number game? I do. This hole averaged 6.71. Let's just say that it is a par 6, just for argument's sake. As a par 6, it's still the hardest hole on the course, on the hardest course on tour. It's a par 6. Okay, that was catchy. But yeah, the whole 1.71 over par. We got to give Alden Harris his props. Only birdie of the day. That's a sick eagle. Nice 4 for Alden. It's just awesome. I don't know how you do it, but he did it. Hole 13, par 4, 650 feet. This is a 2-shot forehand hole or a backhand turnover to just keep one straight. But you're most likely going to see a forehand player go with a straight forehand to get a very little skip to the right and set up another shot. You kind of break the shot down into dissecting it into 2 300-foot shots. And pushing that left side is the way to go, as there is OB down the left side the whole way. And like hole 12, that OB goes really far down the hill and is a very dangerous place to be. So
in practice, somebody's like, "You should go look down there." I said, "I'm not going to look down there."
I actually did, and I almost fell.
Yeah, don't tempt me to look down there. You look down there.
And Ricky, what an incredible shot, actually opening up the fairway even more by staying on the left side of the fairway. That bowl that he flew over is kind of a great landing zone, and he is well past that. And James also with a top-notch shot.
These guys all decide to throw backhand, and it made me like think like because obviously Austin's great forehand, Ricky great forehand, James of course he's gonna throw great backhand, but I was just like, am I playing this hole wrong? I think know. The way that the hole slopes, sidearms I believe is the play.
The one hard thing to do is to keep it straight long enough. Is Austin just, what a great effort from back there. Is that you do see, even with the left to right slope, you still somehow see a lot of shots skip pretty hard to the right. And once you get past a certain point on the right, you're kind of drawn dead as well. But you are in a pretty decent spot. Pretty technical shot here. It did.
And there is OB right there to the left that kind of it bulks out, and I barely missed that one, but left or right of that tree, and I probably got a shot into the green, but it was an indecision. I didn't know whether to go behind it or in front of it, and then I just decided right into it was a spot.
It never ceases to amaze me the way that James works the ankles with the backhands, man. Like at this course, to not have the forehand comfortable step up and just flick one up to hit the gap, that he's always forcing something against the slope and still getting it to stick and stay where it hits is just it's awesome.
Pure jealousy from me.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Very envious of his angle control with the putter, rock, the T-Bird, the Destroyers, and the Thunderbirds that he throws. Other than that, he's got nothing.
Just those 100 things. That's it.
Hair, beautiful hair.
Oh, God, I forgot about the hair.
Yeah.
Ricky collects the par. And it feels that way at this course. You just, honestly, those scores on 10, 11, 12, 13 for Ricky, one up in that 4-hole stretch, you're gaining strokes in the field.
Yes.
I mean, the last hole alone played 2 strokes over par. So the fact that he's only 1 stroke over is pretty good. James picking up the birdie on hole 11. Or I mean hole 13, excuse me.
Hole 14 is playing at 330 feet. This hole is all about height and speed control. Get those two things right, you're looking at birdie. Get those two things wrong, and you're looking at the creek. Let's see how it plays out.
And then another hole that we saw this man here almost give us an unforgettable memory, splashing out of the ace, hitting the pole and falling out. And do we have a repeat?
Basically.
Not quite the right height, but everything else was dialed in perfect.
It just lands so soft. That thing's going down. I thank you.
Yeah.
For doing this.
Yeah.
Because this is not easy, and this takes a lot of power to get this thing to carry that far. Very surprising watching it on film and then being here and seeing how far it actually plays.
And you're going Buzz SS forehand and flipping that up nice and carrying left. This is beautiful, Paul. Wow. Great shot there. And I was in the same exact boat you were in because I didn't get to play this course last year. This is a brand new hole for both of us. And when I saw James shot, I just thought, oh, you just take an AVR X3 and throw it. But I did not appreciate that low ceiling that comes in play very early on as Ricky's shot is errant and right. And it really gave me such an appreciation for what James did there and obviously what he did last year as well.
Right.
At the distance that this hole plays, even being downhill and only 330 feet, it does not play like a putter unless you have a ton of power.
Yeah, and a little bit. It's like he throws it with a little bit of nose up almost to get that carry, something that a lot of people don't do. Like if other people were to throw that same putter line, they wouldn't get the carry that he gets.
Oh.
So Austin almost makes that.
And that'll be a birdie for James, and if you're even closer than that, then that is a truly special forehand mid-range. Not something I've seen you throw a ton of. You've always had the good forehand putter shot and the nice control with the drivers, but the forehand mid-range, that's a skill you must have been working on lately.
No.
Okay, cool. You used to throw the rock lobster, I remember that.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I like throwing.
It's just not something you do a ton.
No.
Moving on to hole 15, the island hole, par 3, 320 feet. There's two gaps that are split equally by those two trees in the middle. And there's also a less used, super wide left side gap that could also come in play for a lefty or a forehand. It's not traditional island rules. You go wherever you cross out of bounds if you do happen to cross out of bounds.
I do like that on this hole that you're able to carry inbounds just because there is so much out of bounds.
Mm-hmm. And it does line the left side and right side of the fairways. And James, that was drifting right. I think it may have had enough to get across and be safe, but we'll never know now. And you're going that forehand. And this skips in bounds.
Yeah, I hit the rocks.
Oh
bounced
my
up.
word! How did that happen?
Well, I don't think I was really that far down. I think I just kind of hit the rock and bounced up.
Oh, this needs to get lucky. And that is
lucky.
Oh my goodness, that's safe up there. It's OB early, all the way down the right side, but up there it opens up.
Yes.
Huh. I was not so fortunate. That skip off the bridge is going to send Austin's drive long and OB. He'll have a makeable putt for par, but probably just outside the circle. That was a great shot of James' focus as he connects from 85 feet.
It seemed like it was
Wow.
further than that. Like,
wow. It may have been. It may have been 90.
I was watching something on ESPN the other day, and it showed a guy jumping into the water, and he just kept going and going, like, off of this little bridge. And when I was watching him do that, I'm like, is his putter ever going to land? And then it's just like splash right in, and it just like reminded me of that. It was so cool to watch.
Oh, my goodness. I thought you made that. Just falling out left side chains. Austin for his par. Again, the putting woes continue to struggle.
But James put so much power on that putt that it flipped up to flat during the flight. He threw a jump putt hyzer flip. Like, what?
That is a very understable JK AVR. And really useful if you know how to control it with that amount of spin at that distance. Somebody's got to get on that James Conrad jump putt compilation. I mean, there's got to be a 45-minute video of just like back-to-back putts from 100
You just have to
feet.
watch that one 5 times, and it's 45 minutes.
Hole 16, the last par 5 on the course. This is a beautiful hole, so challenging. There's an out of bounds early. There's a just treacherous rough down the left side the whole way. And then the second shot going through that pinch. If you throw 2 great shots, you get out into the field and you're left with a pretty open approach. However, the basket is still on the hillside. Rollaways are common. There's so many things that make this hole just next level difficult. A little cameo from Kale LeVisca in the background.
Yeah, he was on another featured card of the live. Hopefully you guys got to catch some of that. Kale LeVisca.
You guys weren't
playing the course blind.
Oh, wow. Goodness.
Yeah.
And this is nice and wide. And you can see we are losing daylight fast, folks. This is a 5-hour round of disc golf.
Right.
There is almost a backup on every single hole. And another nice wide-looking tee shot. These are great because if this comes in any earlier, that ground really tends to skip left. And when you skip left, you basically have to go about 50 feet in front of you back to the fairway.
Yeah, I like the going wide like Rick and I did right there. I actually caught a good break by going through kind of the corner of the rough, but Ricky actually threw putter, which had no chance of doing that.
That was a putter he threw?
That was a pig.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
And James threw a putter as well.
Well,
they got next level stuff. I threw it 15 speed or something. This is really just as good as it gets. Yeah. You can take that shot that he just threw and throw it on every tee shot on this course and
do well.
Do really, really well.
Ricky pushing that left side, getting a good skip. And that's going to be near James. 2 beautifully executed second shots. Austin, he's got the power to hit this gap with a lot of speed, and look at that angle control, getting out the gap, and look at that, all 3 of those drives.
Standstill 400-foot shot, probably.
He's got that baseball power.
Yeah.
He's got that pitcher swing. I don't know if he played pitcher or not, but he's built like a very strong baseball player. So we have got 4 phenomenal second shots, and you really didn't even have to throw that far. Your drive was so great. This is such a difficult approach for a righty backhand. Look at this, playing the turnover.
I just said it. You could throw that same shot on every hole on the course, and he just did that. He just went back-to-back, same shots, easy peasy, and a birdie.
And this is about 330 feet, give or take. And that's rolling right up to the pin. That's parked. And your bogey-free round continues. You'll have a tap-in for birdie to get to 8 under par, and it's just crazy how good that is. Ricky, he's a bit shorter, but still in the circle. Austin.
Yeah, it leaks it a bit high, but the good thing is that hillside actually loves catching those sidearms, so stops right there at circle's edge. Pardon me.
Austin, he is in for the birdie left side, finally getting one to drop. And we are going to have 3 more putts for a pretty elusive star frame potentially on this course that doesn't give up many star frames. And Ricky, wow, that's in for the birdie. This is, what is this, the second hardest hole in the course, 5.58 average. And when this birdie goes in, that's $25 going to benefit the Educational Disc Golf Experience, whose mission is to grow the game of disc golf in schools and youth organizations. Awesome that you guys got the star frame. Awesome partnership between Jomez and Edge. We're moving on to hole 17, par 3, 330 feet. One of the scariest par 3s because those 2 trees that really frame the gap are right in your face. And any kick left or right, you're taking bogey. 330 feet, plays like 400. Maybe more.
It plays far. And not only does it play far, it plays scary. James is not scared.
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen someone go too high off their drive, and James just puts it right up there. This is a big forehand.
Thanks.
Not yours.
That's a no, you're right. That is a really big forehand. Ooh-wee.
Oh, lordy.
Honestly, I got to the point right there where I just wanted to get out of the gap, and I knew I had a good one going, and that almost goes in the hole.
Almost ringing up one of the greatest aces ever.
So I basically played the hole for par. Yeah,
sure. I mean, you'd like to get out to the open and give yourself that 50-foot look for the birdie and maybe drop in a miracle.
Maybe.
Austin Hannum's forehand power is so nasty to get the distance.
That was a fairway driver as well.
That was a fairway driver?
Yes.
Man, he has got so much power in that arm. That's outstanding.
So does this big forehand guy.
I don't want to hear it. And that's a great
another big forehand.
And you are bogey-free, 8 under, moving into one of the easiest holes on the course, hole 18. And you're looking at going 9 under par, which is just outstanding as Austin Hannum goes back-to-back birdies, getting his round to 1 over par. Ricky just barely over the rim. And Conrad has a short putt for birdie. I promise this hole is not easy, but we're going to get out of this hole at 3 under par.
They had me questioning whether I should have thrown the backhand. I'm like, they just got the easiest birdies, it seemed like, ever.
Yeah, that happened a couple times this round.
Yeah.
But I think with your game plan, you don't have to question anything as you're still beating the card at 8 under par.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
That's all that matters in the end, not whether you do forehand or backhand.
I'll trade in the 8 under for the 1 birdie on 17. I'll just say it right now.
Whatever. Hole 18, par 4, 660 feet. This is the easiest hole of the day, averaging 3.62. It is a wide open tee shot minus the little tiny tunnel that you have to get off the tee. And then you just want to make sure that you throw far enough to avoid these pine trees that line the right side of the fairway. From there, it's just an uphill pitch. A good tee shot will leave you about 260 to 280 feet away. We saw James get pretty nasty last year with a big turnover, getting really aggressive. I don't think he's trying to do anything other than just put one in the middle like you see here. He goes with the Thunderbird. And that's right down the middle.
I love how he puts it on the anhyzer and it holds straight and then lands soft.
Yeah.
For you guys at home, if you want to practice control, try to get something over and then land it really flat with no energy. Even Ricky's is going to have a little skip here at the end.
Wow, and he's actually leaving himself a pretty difficult up and down.
No, that's going to be pretty easy, honestly.
Okay.
It looked from that angle that he was beat by by the corner, but he wasn't. But even Austin here, when his lands, it's going to be nice and soft like James. That's what you're trying to do right there. As soon as it lands, maybe it's going to move 4 feet in either direction.
Sure. Good lesson there.
And then instead of...
oh, boy.
And then,
what do we got lined up here, Paul?
And then instead of playing the skip, you just throw it where you want.
Oh, I thought you were going to lead into you doing something wildly different, but no, that's exactly what you're talking about. And grass, not too skippy out here at hole 18. Really, anywhere on this course, the grass is playing like Velcro. Ricky able to go standstill pig, and this one's heading out to the edge of the circle.
Where Ricky lives and
thrives. And thrives very well. Yes, indeed.
Pretty...
Austin, just so accurate, and he just has such a casual look to the way he throws the forehand. It looks kind of like someone who's just starting, but like he's way better than he should be. But like, do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I mean,
that
he just
is not meant to be an insult.
No, not at all. And what's impressive about his round is he could have easily got kind of whipped by the last 3 holes. Instead, he goes birdie, 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 shoots at even par, which is very respectable on this hole, or on this course, pardon me.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you're going to see scores 10 over, 5 to 10 over with great players just because they weren't able to maintain the composure that this course requires you to have. Ricky makes good with a birdie. He's in at a very solid 6 under par, and we are looking at a potential second star frame in 3 holes. And it could have been 4 if you just made your putt on 17.
Oh, yeah. There's another birdie, and you are right. Coming in with a nice little... This one looked like it was... When I was walking up to this one, I was like, of course, throw it right in a bill tree. And thought I was going to have to bear crawl right into there. But it was nice and stayed on the edge for this little tap in.
And once again, just as a reminder, these star frame birdies benefit the Educational Disc Golf Experience Organization. Has introduced disc golf to over 2 million kids. Pretty awesome as we finish up on a very high note as our card getting out with an 8 under par, a 9 under par, a 6 under par, and Austin Hannum really maintaining his composure, like you said, to birdie out Turkey those last 3 holes. We're going to take a look at the leaderboard. Kevin Jones, fire emoji, 10 under par. Greg Barsby, 9 under par. And look at that leaderboard. We are going to see Paul Ulibarri and James Conrad once again back here on the feature card going into round 2. We're going to be right back here tomorrow at Northwood Gold once again. And then we'll be moving over to Eureka Lake for the final 2 rounds over the weekend. Paul, that was a pleasure to watch you play.
Thank you, thank you.
How do you feel about your round?
I feel like it was, as good as it could have been. Honestly, I felt like tomorrow's going to be a blast, and going back-to-back at this course is really going to be a testament to who the best golfer is, and can't wait to find out.
Thank you so much to the JomezPro Founders Club for everything you do. We'll catch you guys at round 2.